What's up, everybody? We're gonna be coding. Vibe coding. Have you heard the term? Have you heard the news about vibe coding? All right. Now, the first thing about vibe coding that you gotta learn though is you really got to get the right vibe. Okay, before we even get into what the vibe is. Okay, so right here we have some vibe music that is being created by AI. So that's my first thing. I love music. And also, this is pretty dope. So you got to check it out. It's rifffusion.com. Okay. Now, in this video, I'm going to be getting into n8n using ChatGPT, using Claude, using Google Gemini, using Grok, Twitter's Grok to vibe code. And then basically that just means use AI to tell you what to do, right? So we're going to get into using n8n and how to use AI to actually use n8n. So of course, you got to get your vibe code playlist going on here. It's very important. And you can go to rifffusion.com. This is a really cool, I think it's Chinese, honestly. But you can make unlimited music that's actually really dope for free. Okay. So check that out. And then while you're doing that, we're going to jump over to n8n and I'm going to go through the basics here of what n8n is, how to use it, and then more importantly, how you can use ChatGPT, how you could use Claude, how you could use Google Gemini, how you could use Grok. I mean, let's use all of them. Is Grok 4? No, that's not out yet. How you can use them all to be able to use n8n and then really to do anything. Okay, so the fundamentals of n8n are basically what everyone's talking about with AI agents. Okay, so n8n is open source software that you can host for free. So I have this one on my actual domain name here. It's self-hosted on Hostinger. I have my own hosting account, right? So you can go ahead and do that. When you get in here, if you have questions about anything, when you get in here, there's nothing. You can obviously just go to ChatGPT. You can go to anything. That's what vibe coding is. Just going to these AIs and saying, "Hey, how do I do this thing?" Right? I am a dumb human. You are the super intelligence. So coming in here, creating a workflow is the main point of what we want to do. All right. Now, inside of here, there's a billion different things that you want to do. The coolest things that people are doing are the faceless videos. That's what everybody's kind of a big draw. But really, for people that are doing real business, real marketing, there's a lot of other cool things that you want to do. But really, you want to start obviously by clicking this plus sign, okay? Because inside of here, then it opens up what you can possibly do. But if you just type in Google, if you type in Facebook, just to show the basics of what N8N has in here, they have things already built in, right? So you don't have to try to reinvent the wheel, but really what matters, okay, so let's just say you put in, well, everything either starts with the schedule. I just would do a schedule, right? So you just put in whatever schedule here. A schedule trigger is pretty much how you want to start every workflow, right? And then you can test it easily as you're going with the schedule trigger. You can do a chat trigger if you want to, but really you can test it with anything. Oh, hey, people are here. I use DigitalOcean. It's $6 a month. Yeah, it seems okay so far. Only issue is you have to connect it to domain, but I don't want to. Hey, sorry about that. What's up, Steve? Thanks for commenting. I appreciate it. Just did a little video literally saying all right, cool. Thanks for commenting, Steve. Appreciate it. If you guys are watching live, I appreciate you. I'm just going through the basics here of N8N. I think it's really important to just understand this and have these videos. I know there's a lot of videos out there, but I kind of learn things a little bit differently as far as I'm super lazy, so I need things done very quickly with minimal effort. Okay. I'm not a developer, I'm a marketer. That's my profession. So I have semi development skills. So I understand how all of this works because I've been doing automation for a long time with text message, email, and all these types of other platforms. But this is where you combine everything. So schedule trigger, and then what's the next thing that you want to do after that is really where it comes into the strategy, and that's where everybody is kind of failing. Is it's like, what do I want to do? Let's go download some workflows. Okay, cool. Well, you can go to my site, Mikee.ai, and then you can download a bunch of workflows. I have curated a bunch of workflows here that you can download. You can also just go to the N8N website. Sorry about that. N8n.io, And then they have a bunch of somewhere on here templates here, okay, on the website, right? So you can go to Mikee AI, get a bunch of websites. This is constantly changing; they're always updating here, so use that or use my curated list, which is for free. I go through the best of, and then I curate them, and then I also have a bunch in here, and then you can get access also to getting them installed directly into your account. Okay. So I'm just saying that's how you would want to start out the easiest way, whereas you're not building from scratch. But what I want to show you today is really kind of the most advanced way to use vibe coding to figure this stuff out. And then the coolest things you possibly can do. Okay. So the first thing I would say is let's just do an HTTP request, because this is really going to be where it's you're gonna be on this screen the most to do the coolest stuff if you really wanna use N8N to do, like, fun, cool things, okay? So there's a website called ML gosh, what is it called? ML AI ML API? There it is. Okay, so this is a cool website that is there's many different types like this, but basically they have all of the AI models into one. So you can just get access to one API key, and then you can go ahead and then have access to everything that they link to, all these different models and all of these different things, right? But what I want you to understand, and what the way I vibe code, okay, is first of all, APIs are the data feeds. It's the way that data talks, right? It's the way websites talk. It's the way AI talks to each other. It's just you got to figure out APIs and understand the APIs. You get APIs to talk to each other. APIs do different things. That's the whole game here with N8N. That's the whole game with everything we're doing is really getting APIs to be our best friends and to talk to us. So we have documentation for every API because that's how the development world works. And again, I'm not a developer. I have toiled to try to, but I have never really fully invested to become one. And so I know just a little. Okay, so please comment if if you guys know better than me. I'd be happy to. Um, how does it compare to OpenRouter? The OpenRouter is a little bit different there, Steve. I can get into that in a different video, but for this one, I have a bunch of examples for these types of businesses because this is what I'm seeing with AI. There's a lot of these different types of businesses, and they have all of these different cool capabilities. So you can do text, you can do image, you can do video, you can do music, you can do voice, you can do all of these different kinds of things, right? So again, I'm not a programmer, so I don't know. So I would take basically the docs link, first of all, and then I would just paste it. You could even do like that. You could do a search, or you could do deep research, which would be interesting if you did that. And then that's the first thing I always do is just kind of season my chat with whatever the API doc that I'm trying to work with. Okay. So, uh, like N8N has documentation of how their software works. So you can find the link to that, paste it into there, right? I'm not going to read any of this that this AI is saying. I just want it to know what I'm trying to do. So then I can go in here and get a reference. All right. So let's just do deep research actually on that Grok and see what Grok's doing here. All right. And then so Gemini knows it's up. So then it's like, here's an HTTP request. So what I want to do is actually, I have this Google Chrome extension. Can you guys, yeah, you can see that. I have a Google Chrome extension that takes a screenshot of the whole web page. So this is what I do a ton is I'll take a screenshot, copy it, and then I'll paste it into here and I'll say, how do I create an image in N8N? Uh yeah, just do that. Paste that into there, see what Claude says. HTTP request settings for creating an image, basically. So it's like when you're on this page, you just I don't know if you just stared. I don't have no clue with any of this thing. If you just stared at it, right? So I'll just take a screenshot, put it into all the chats, and be like, "Hey, I want to make an image with this website. Tell me what to do." So then let's do this on this one. H HTTP request is the way to custom request APIs, basically. So you can call any API, you can call a website really, and HTTP request image. And then you can see what happens. So then it comes in here and then it starts telling you, okay, in your N8N. So it starts just telling you what to do. This is the first level of vibe coding, really, all right? Is this is a little bit more manual vibe coding, to be honest. Because there's in a little bit I'll get into the deeper level of vibe coding, which you've probably seen more of, where you're just telling AI, make this thing. Okay. So I'm talking about n8n specifically, and using AI to help you figure out all of these different things, because that's the fastest way to learn how to do really advanced automations. And this is really the revolution that we're in right now, is being able to create AI agents in n8n. But the first thing you really need to do is understanding how to do API calls, and using AI by just doing screenshots, just pasting screenshots. Like, I'm not really gonna make this in depth and be like super, let's not beat around the bush here. Let's be really straightforward. AI better be smarter and help me out. So if I put a screenshot in here, and then so now it's gonna be, this one's thinking a lot longer, mapping out the integration. If you use an image editing node, a lot of times it just doesn't make sense what it's saying, like if you read it. So unfortunately, that's a problem. So again, I'm being very dumb with my prompting on purpose. Like, I'm a big fan of these things better tell me what to do with simple prompting. I know I understand the whole game of get better at your prompting and then you'll get better results, but like at the same time, dude, I just want it to be smarter. Come on. So this does start giving me some information. There's a selection for raw content in the body type. So it starts telling me exactly what to put in those parameters. So this would be manual. The only way to really do it with n8n is go back and forth, and that's how honestly I learned how to use n8n, is just going back and forth until I understood what all the settings meant, to where then I could just keep replicating, right? That's still going, so that's interesting. But Grok gave me pretty good information. Let's see what Grok said. Quick start, so it understood the docs. uh, Interesting. I'll have to look more in depth on this and see which one actually came back with the best results. But it looks like Grok really did understand. So now, if I paste in the image, how do I create a image using N8N and AI ML API? Uh, and then we'll see what that says. Okay, cool. So then basically in n8n, you would request an API call from these guys, for example, or sorry about that, from these guys, and be like, hey, make an image, right? And you can use these different models, and that's what you would do on this request here. And then you would want to basically have another request that then would do, you could turn the image into a video. So then it would take the image and then turn that image into a video. Like, you would use Cling here is the most popular one right now. Runway, if it has the new model, I don't know if it has the new model of Runway because they just released it, but Kling is still super good. That's what everybody uses for the super professionals. And then it could be from there, you could add text to it in Creatomate. So then that would be another one here. Oh, shoot, not deactivate. Anyways, duplicate, not deactivate. And then another one here, we want to activate that. And then that would be Creatomate, which is one of the only ones right now that I know of. There's a bunch of other ones, but basically you can mash a bunch of stuff together. You create these kind of templates, and then you can just put in images, you can put in text through the API into the templates. So that's how a lot of the POV videos and stuff like that are made, is using Creatomate and using that process. We got a couple of comments here. Steve-Lo, been looking for someone who can create an MCP that lets me have cursor when surfing exactly in the control. I know it's not okay. Sorry, I mumbled that when I'm reading that. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna check these comments back and get back to you guys, and then probably make some videos about them, because I'm working hardcore on MCPs. Let me go full screen here while I read this so it's not boring. I just created an n8n workflow generator inside n8n might help us. Yeah, yeah, I've been actually looking at a lot of those types of things, and then so I messed around with the API. Hit me up, Patrick. If you my email is mikey@mikey.ai. Hit me up. I love to talk to you if it works. I mean, the problem with n8n and any of this stuff is like you still need a strategy behind it, and you can get the workflows made great and then they're working, but like the strategy's got to make money, right? So you would then create-o-mate. This would be the create-o-mate one, and then you would just like post it to YouTube, obviously, or something like that. That's the goal here. So again, this is trying to be beginner as possible by telling you to get these settings to work correctly. You just use AI to constantly go use either a screenshot. So I use a screenshot and then paste it back and forth. And then you just paste the errors in. So this would give you an error. You paste that error in. It would tell you do this, do that, do this. That's all a vibe coding is, right? Now, the next level vibe coding that we can talk about is a website like this, which is Replit. Replit, I think that's how you say it, which is straight up the real vibe coding where you're in the vibe of what do I want to make. And then I have a couple different examples here where I told it I think you gotta run it. Is it running? Run. I told it like some basic stuff, and then so this is all the chat. I went back and forth with it on chat, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. See all this chat? I'm just scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. But it made this whole website, which is absolutely insanity. It made this whole website. Okay, it wrote all the copy. I mean, I said because this is what I do. So I was like, this is incredible. I mean, you would have to hire many different people to get this level without AI. And it's all, honestly, I looked at it all and I'm like, dang, this is all actually really good content. This is really good information. This is actually accurate. I kept on trying to get it to put my picture here. Couldn't put my picture there yet, but we'll get there. But it really did incredible, like, all built it out in front of me. It had a bunch of other stuff in here, so I got it to take it away, but it I was blown away by literally built in front of you. So, if you guys have not used that. Now, there is an open source excuse me one second. There's an open source model that does this, and I can't remember, and I'll do another video about it. And I was looking at it. It allows you to do this code and then you visualize the code thing, which is really cool. But like we could do, I don't know, an ice cream store app, and then it just will build right in front of you. It'll ask you some questions, create a plan, build right in front of you. And incredible what it can do. But honestly, I really don't recommend anybody do this type of work because it's insane. Like you can't really get granular on it and make it cool. Okay, so then approve the plan and start. Okay, great. Let's approve the plan and start. And then this is what's insane is let me move my face here. Is it will just start making whatever you say. It starts coding it right here in front of you. I just said a couple things. This word straight vibe. This is the real vibe right now. Is my hands are here. I'm doing nothing. Scoops and dreams. It's super dope. Okay. This is replit.com. Again, there's a couple other competitors, a couple other people. But it literally, I'm not touching the screen. It's just making this for me on the fly. This is the real vibe coding where you then tell it things. But then the problem is it's like it's all actual code. So you have no capabilities besides individually saying, hey, that strawberry, that the text looks kind of weird on that 5.99. I'm gonna look at the squash. You just have to get really granular on telling it exactly what needs to be fixed, and like it's just making all of this up because I gave it such a basic prompt. But like how dope does it look? Amazing. This is really the future that we live in. So I don't really know what to say. But at the same time, it's kind of useless because you can't immediately launch this and you still need high level development capability to be able to really execute this on a level that you could make money from. So that's why I'm like, is that really what we want? Now, when it comes back to N8N, this is a real thing that you can use to most people would probably, post on Facebook, create, create your social media to where all of that's automated is kind of the main focus, or try to use it to make money or something like that on a very basic level. As far as putting up videos on YouTube, businesses can use it to get rid of go high level, get rid of many different software pieces that would cost a lot of money. But for some instances, it might actually be cheaper to use prepaid services that already exist rather than building it out yourself, right? But really, I don't want to get too exhausted on this. That is the basics of how I vibe code, is really just screenshots directly into whatever AI is working the best in the moment, because every day they're all changing and they're all working differently. So from there, it's just screenshotting individually, going back and forth with the error codes. If you get an error code from whatever you're trying to do, then dropping that in there, and then you're straight vibing, you're straight coding, which is awesome. It's a lot of fun, but it's easier in a pre-built system like N8N, where you have control over the parameters rather than using straight code with a replit or something like that, which I don't recommend, right? But to use N8N, I got a bunch of free workflows on my website, Mikee.ai. So definitely check that out. You can download those for free. I've curated those. And then I do have an upsell service on that page after you download them. If you want them immediately uploaded into your N8N account, I created the capability to drop them through your API into that. If you can't figure out how to do that yourself, right? Easily available. All the workflows are for free. I do not sell workflows because, again, N8N has over 1,500 amazing workflows that you can download for free right now. And then don't forget that this is a really cool music maker that I do recommend anybody interested in AI. This is Refusion AI, that, or no, Refusion.com, and I made this playlist in about 10 minutes, and it's really, really good music. So enjoy that. But otherwise, go check out my website, Mikee.ai. Grab my curated list of workflows. If you want them uploaded immediately into your account, I can do that too. But I have a bunch of free curated workflows for you. If you're interested in one-on-one help, if you need help one-on-one with N8N, that's what I do for a living. So if you would like to help feed my children, you can definitely work with me one-on-one, and I will, in 4 weeks, help you execute whatever it is you're trying to execute. My primary focus with clients that I have is with paid ads, Facebook ads, high-level paid ads, those types of things. Direct response marketing is mainly been my background. So if you need any help with that, definitely let me know. Drop in the comments what videos you'd like to make. What are you trying to learn? I would love to help with that, or whatever knowledge I have. A lot of you are maybe a lot smarter than me in development, so I can learn a lot from you too. But thanks so much for being with me. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you guys. And anybody else in the comment, what's the best agent? I'll just answer these questions real quick if I got any answers. What's the best agent like Manus to be open from an Android phone? Oh, that's an interesting question, Michael. I don't have an Android phone, but I will definitely check that out. Thank you. You dropped some real gems real quick. Thanks, John. I appreciate that, John. Lots of great stuff in the Google Drive, Mikey. Thank you. Hey, cool. Yeah, that Google Drive, I'm going to be updating it a ton. So you want to get on my email list, because I share a Google Drive with everybody, and I got a lot of stuff I'm constantly updating in there. So definitely hit me up. I'm going to be trying to do a ton of live. So please give me content to make for you. Please tell me what you're working on, and I'll just make it for you live. Why not? Make your life easier, right? I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.